Whoa! Is that working? It's working.
So, yeah.
It's working. It looks like it's working. That's a good sign.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Welcome, everybody, to another evening and another year of 2C3 Pod, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. It's twerking. It is twerking.
It's twerking good.
It is twerking
All right,
good.
that
Anyway.
is all up on the Facebooks.
Yep, excellent. Cool.
Awesome.
So the viewers are slowly climbing because should we say that we've cheated the system a little bit?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, why not?
Hold on.
Okay.
We'll save it because I'm sure people will
Wait.
come in and they'll be asking questions.
Before we do anything,
Yeah.
who are you?
My name is Dylan, along with...
Mitchell, and welcome to 2C3 Pod Live, the brand new 2C3 Pod Twitch account.
That's right, yes, for sure. Now, when you say brand new, we'll reveal those secrets a little later.
Yes.
But essentially what the plan is from now moving forward is to be more interactive with the audience. So
Absolutely.
for a while, we were like, yeah, let's do a podcast. And then we were like, oh, should we record it? And then we were like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then we started recording it. And after a while, we were like, oh, should we stream it?
Do you remember, though, when we first started recording, though, that we used to have to record with a memory card that wouldn't last the entire session?
Yes. And
So
it was
we would
horrible.
only,
Yeah.
we would only be able to record, what would it end up being, like about 30, 40
30
minutes?
minutes. And we had
Yeah.
a 2-hour stream.
Exactly, that's right. So we'd be able to get a few clips from that and
Yeah.
then be like, it'll get better one day. And then we started recording them all for YouTube. And
Yeah, that's
you
right.
took your time with the thumbnails and editing down every single show for YouTube and that to
Yep.
get 6 views.
Yeah.
And that.
And that slowly increased as well. So I greatly appreciate everybody who's gone over to YouTube and given
Oh,
us a subscribe and a
absolutely.
like and a follow and all that, whatever.
Absolutely, and it's always nice because I think every couple of videos we get a lovely comment from a random person saying, "Why is this channel so small?" You
Yeah.
know? And it's kind of like reassuring, like, okay, we're doing something right. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's
you
not
know?
complete
But-
dog shit.
no,
You
that's
know,
exactly
like,
right.
not that, yeah.
But from the YouTube led into the question you just asked, then should we stream it?
Should
You
we
know?
stream it? Yeah. So I thought, well, it took me a million years to try and figure out, okay, what's the technology that I need to get this done?
Yes.
And for a while, we were
Yes.
streaming on Twitch as well as Facebook, and it was working that kind of way through my personal Twitch account.
Yeah.
You can go follow me at twitch.tv/Dylan2C3pod.
That is correct. And you can follow me at
2C3 Pod Live.
That's
Yes,
right.
That's
So,
right.
Yes.
So get those emotes pumping if you're still subscribed. If You're here.
Absolutely. So, yes, as Dylan hinted at, we did kind of cheat the system a little bit. But, I mean, okay, so long story short, I got into the streaming late last year around October, November, and that, and gave it a good
Good hog.
a good hog.
Good
Yeah, no, gave it a good crack
Don't
and
mind
that,
me a good hog.
and did all right in that. But then all of a sudden, I just don't have the time to
Yeah.
invest in streaming like you've been able to and stuff with your audience and that. So I had this account sitting with a couple hundred followers. It's affiliate. So
Yeah.
I was like, dude, let's make this the podcast one, and we don't have to try and chase affiliate. You know?
Yeah, so we're already there.
Exactly,
Which
that's
means
right.
we get some emotes pumping, we get some moderators
Yes.
as well eventually.
Yes.
None at the moment, but we'll get there, of course, once we work all that out. But
Absolutely.
you know, we before recording this episode, or starting this streaming episode, essentially, we discussed whether we were going to record an actual podcast episode. And I have everything set up in order to do that, but I kind of feel like we've already begun. Because we didn't really discuss what we were going to discuss.
No,
other
that's
than
right.
just catching up. So should
Because-
we go?
Hey,
welcome everybody-
Nolan's Tolans, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh,
Reveal the death.
that's right. Any of the channel points that you see, please be careful redeeming them because they were mine from back when I was streaming at the end of the last
And
year.
just word of warning, there are some there that we will not do tonight.
Exactly. Spoonful of... Do you have Vegemite in the house?
No.
Okay, good,
don't-
good. I mean...
Should I?
I mean, technically...
Should I?
I mean, technically, it would be aimed at me because they were
Should
mine.
I, though?
So
Should I have Vegemite in the house?
Yes, you should because you're Australian.
Okay, well, you reckon you could hold up the fort while I go grab Vegemite and 2 spoons?
Okay, absolutely. If you want to get smashed with it, because I think my record in one stream, talking about a 2-hour stream, was about 9.
Wow.
9 spoonfuls of the
spoonfuls.
black gold.
In
Yeah.
saying that, though, your spoonfuls are those little baby spoons.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. I'm pretty sure a teaspoon of salt, straight salt, is enough. Okay,
It's absolutely delicious. But
I
anyway,
do not need the criticism. Hey, Mitch's mummy.
Mitch's
Glad
mummy,
to see you
welcome
back. Yes, thank you very much.
Well,
and appreciate you coming back.
while there's a few people here, I do want to do the introduction and use my little animation thing that I
Yeah,
did,
smack
mate.
it. Do it.
Well,
Yeah.
because we started this with
Show
the
'em what
impression
they're
that
in
it was-
for.
I do have to press 2 buttons at the same time because I didn't swap it back to where I only have to press 1 button.
Wait, so are
at a
you
time.
pressing the intro to actually start an episode, or are you just wanting to show them?
I'm just wanting to show them and
Yeah.
start an episode. So
Sweet.
welcome to 2C3 Pod, where we talk about weird, wild, and wonderful things happening in the world of entertainment. My name is Dylan, and as always with my co-host.
Mitchell, and make sure you've got your best dad jokes ready, because get your best dad jokes ready. I don't know, man.
That didn't work!
It didn't at
It
all.
didn't work!
That's
Why didn't
right.
the sound work? Oh, man, that's embarrassing. Why didn't that work?
I'm not sure. Oh, God.
Well, the keyboard all of a sudden decided not to work right as I've clicked record and go. So
Exactly.
technical problems, but we'll ignore that for the time being.
No, that's right. But if you're a regular to the channel, you will know how frustrated Dylan can get.
Anyway, I'm going to go get some black gold and a few spoons
No
if in
worries.
case we get any channel point redemption. So
is it...
don't mind me as I walk past the camera.
No, that's fine. You go do your thing. Okay. Is it going to be a podcast or a talk show? Well, notice... Oh, you're right? Yep,
I have
good.
to open the door to exit the room.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Well, this week we are more or less just going to be talking about what we're going to be doing because we are so unprepared. And if you've tuned into the podcast in the past, we are normally very structured and have our plan for the whole episode, and like we bang, 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 and have our points to hit that we know. We haven't streamed or done a podcast in about 4 or 5 weeks just because of scheduling conflicts and like Christmas holidays and stuff, things of that nature, school holidays as well. So we've come back in tonight, but we have no plans. So I think we're going to spend this time just basically kind of refreshing ourselves with the podcast setting and then talking about what's going to be coming up from next week and beyond. So for now, hey, Gnarly, how you doing? Josie, hey,
Everybody's in. And also, have you
Exactly.
explained that this episode is still going to be ripped for audio and uploaded as a normal podcast?
So it will?
It will,
I
absolutely.
wasn't sure about that just then. I just thought there was going to be shit talking, but
Well, there will be shit talking, but I want to just reiterate the fact that even though that, this is primarily going to be a live interactive show from now on,
absolutely.
these episodes will still be uploaded to Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course,
YouTube, Big Summer Blowout.
So that means you have influence over our episodes
Yes.
moving forward. So
Absolutely.
when you're listening to this later on, people who don't watch the stream live and listen later on are going to be hearing us say, "Hey, welcome to the chat, dude." So
no, exactly, that's right. And we wanted to, because we found through the streaming that we've been doing, we're doing good. See, exactly like this right
Yes,
now.
we
We're
are
doing
doing
good,
good.
Carly.
How
How
we
you
doing?
doing yourself?
Yeah. I've seen Carly has been streaming a little more often lately. She's been back into the Fall Guys a little bit.
Yeah,
so-
lovely. Yes, but what were we talking about? See, this is going to be the one flaw.
Back to the topic of, we'll read Carly's next question.
Oh, wait. You
Gnarly's
guys are
next-
going live completely? No more after chat bedtime? What does that mean? No more after chat bedtime? I don't know what that means.
Okay, so yes, we are going live,
Yes.
and we're going to be
Okay.
but when we actually have a proper structure for this, because what our bad habit and also a good habit is that we
Exactly.
don't really have a proper discussion of what we're going to be discussing in the episode before the show.
Are you talking about regular podcast episodes in the
Regular
past?
podcasts, we put in some notes about what topics we want to talk about,
Yeah,
what trailers to break down, and we'll still continue to do that for the most part. But today, we didn't discuss what to discuss, so
No.
today is just a discussion topic of what we're going to discuss in the future.
Today is essentially Dylan and I catching up for the first time. No. We saw
This
each other.
year?
No, we saw each other at Jono's.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
Very briefly,
Like a
exactly.
minute,
So,
yeah.
but the first time we've been able to sit down and actually talk shop.
Talk
you
shop,
know?
yes.
And we decided we would do it live and just see if we can bang out an episode through our general chatter, but also plan what we're going to be doing moving forward.
Yes.
Now, what we've hinted at is that we're going to, each episode is going to be a live interactive episode that you'll see live here on twitch.tv/2C3pod live.
Yep.
And we are going to release those episodes in all those locations that Dylan's already mentioned as a regular podcast episode as well. So it's going to be an interactive podcast, and each episode we were looking at having a theme. Instead of
Yes.
hitting like the latest news and the trailers and the films coming out into theaters, I wanted to talk to you about potentially moving Trailer Park to YouTube exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So that way we have the dedicated weekly YouTube video there.
Yep.
We can also still do YouTube videos for the films that we see in theaters if we do.
Yep.
As well. DTC.
Does the cinema, which I do
exactly.
have a beautiful little animation I've made up for that as well.
Oh,
next
see,
time- I
I'm
think
very
I put that in
excited
our
about
Wonder
that.
Woman and the Dry, but I'm not sure if I did. I'll have to go back and
I didn't
do that.
see it.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
maybe
Yeah.
not, but
Yeah,
we'll
no,
look at that,
exactly.
yeah.
But yeah. So basically we wanted to make it a bit more relaxed because we found during our streaming time for the podcast, the pre and post show banter was almost better than the entire episode that we spend the week prepping for, you
Yeah,
know?
that's right. So it's all well and good, to have the actual podcast episode itself that we prided ourselves on for so long, but then we discovered this fun
Yes.
essence between like the the post and pre-show discussions that we're really enjoying. So what have you discovered?
Well, I've discovered who the King 14792 is.
Oh, yes.
That's our good friend Darcy. How you
Hey!
doing? Thanks for bringing up Patrick Mahomes for the fucking 37th week straight.
Oh, so that's who it is.
That is who it is.
Well,
It is
welcome
the
to Twitch, Darcy,
Yes,
because we're
thank
no
you,
longer
Darcy.
stream on Facebook
That's
anymore.
right. Darcy was a regular over on Facebook, and now we're exclusively on the Twitch. So thank you for tuning in, and fuck you for bringing up Patrick Mahomes. I could do that. And after just chatting, I would go to bed. Oh, okay, all right, that's right. So Carly's saying that she would tune in for that glorious pre-show chatter. The podcast episode would start, and we would bore her to death.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we would, to be completely honest, we would watch like the viewer count, and sometimes it would stay pretty well.
Yeah.
And then other times it'd be like, you know, in a good 20-30 range.
No, that's right.
At the like pre-show, and then the episode starts where we're recording the episode, we're not interacting, and it would drop.
No, that's
and
exactly right.
It would lose momentum.
Exactly. And if you're talking like shop in the terms of like streaming and analytics and things of that nature, you're looking at about like, you know, half an hour pre-show, you're talking about an hour and a half episode, and then another 15-20 minutes afterwards. So you're looking at it over a 2.5 hour stream with these like peaks and then valley and then a peak. You know, sometimes we'd get that peak back, sometimes we wouldn't, you know. So if we can keep that like opening, like, I know, you know, we don't want to be too technical about it all, but if we can keep that like pre-show banter number, you know, and actually interact and be able to interact, because that was the most frustrating thing. Have to have that recording now little symbol there and say,
which I don't have on this stream, if you've noticed.
Exactly, that's right,
Yep.
because we can interact. That's the point. Like, and that's what we want to be able to do. So that's why we're talking about potentially themed episodes and things of that nature. So we can say, we can sit here and talk shop about like horror movies for like, you know, 20 minutes, but look down and go, oh yeah, good point, blah, 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 you know.
And that's the idea. But this week we did, like, we looked at the notes that I'd put in, and that, yes, there are some like pop culture film news this week, but in saying that, it's a little bit dry in terms of, you know what, that's not overtly interesting. So the theme this week is in the description, in the stream title. What is your best dad joke?
And the reason we bring that up is because I bought us a card game around Christmas time, and unfortunately I left it in my boot, and for the first time ever, the first and only time ever, my boot leaked, and it decided to get into the box and make the box moldy and disgusting and fall apart, but the cards were kept perfectly wrapped.
Excellent.
So we have these dad joke cards that we're just going to fuck around with during the episode, but if you have a dad joke, drop it in the comments and let's see if we can make one of us laugh.
That's right. Now, it's not hard to make either of us laugh, especially me, because like, if I'm trying not to laugh, you can say the dumbest thing and I'm like,
I know
yes, Danger Man, it was a great idea, but it's no longer in use. It's pretty much redundant.
Oh no,
so
absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Drop your favorite dad joke down below, because surely you've got some.
Oh, I'm sure Sean would have a bucket load of dad jokes. Sean, Danger
Man.
Yes.
Danger.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes, of course.
But, no, that's right. The recording sign was a great idea for the time and what we were doing, but now that we can be interactive, doesn't matter. Yeah. It's all going to be a part of the podcast, you know? It's like there may be a snippet at the beginning that's the technically pre-show before, and then we'll go, all right, we're officially kicking off. We'll run through our intro, blah, 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 hit the music, and then we get into it.
Absolutely.
And then we'll do our outro as well, but we're still going to talk. We'll still be there the whole time.
For sure. Excellent. Well, before we get into that, I suppose by reading through some of those like dad jokes, is there anything else you want to say before we do rip into this? Anything you want to catch up on at all?
The one thing I'm going to say is moving forward. So this week's podcast episode may be a little bit rough, okay? But
podcast
please,
episode?
for anybody watching, I really want to hammer down on the Apple Podcasts this year. Okay, so any of you viewers, if you have an iPhone or an Apple device, please head over to Apple Podcasts, 2C3 Pod. That's all you have to do. There we are. Whack 5 stars on there and just write anything.
He loves his charts.
I absolutely love it. Okay, so but the 5 stars won't count unless you write something, and it's not for our egos. It's not to just say, hey, you know, you guys are great. No, we don't need to hear that. Just write, you know, I like purple polka dots. That's fine. Awesome. 5 stars. Woo.
Absolutely. Notice Tolan says, can we get a Q&A style segment? That's what this whole thing is about now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point of the interactivity is the fact that we want you guys to be talking to us the whole time. So yeah.
Now, when I was updating this Twitch account, the previous 2C3 Pod Twitch account this afternoon in preparation...
And thank you, Carly. Interactive is a good idea.
Yes. In preparation for tonight's stream, before we transferred everything over to this fresh account, I should say, I did have a bunch of chat rules, which are now gone because they were on the previous account, which is now disabled. One of those rules that I do want to make clear on, and this is something that doesn't just frustrate me, but a lot of like streamers out there, is that if we don't get to your message... it's because we've either just moved past it and we've forgotten it. But if you call us out on it, that's super fucking annoying.
Okay, right.
You know? So
do you have a problem if they don't call it out, just repeat it?
yeah, that's fine. Like if we've missed it and it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
But if it's disrespectful or you're being a pest,
why are you fucking ignoring me?
Yeah, we're gonna fucking ignore you.
Okay,
And also if you say something disrespectful or racist or whatever it may be, just none of that shit. We're here to have fun. So I just want to reiterate that we're here to have a good time. No negative shit. Everybody be respectful with your questions and you know, your chats essentially. But if we don't get to something, if it's something that you genuinely want us to answer, yeah, by all means rewrite it, rechat it essentially.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But if it's dumb and we hate it, we'll ignore it.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair point. But notice, yes, we do. That's the whole point of this. We want you talking the whole time. We want to make sure that there's interaction, because otherwise there's going to be quite a few times where we just get stuck in the rabbit hole and we're like, so it's dark down here.
Yeah, so let's pull out the old dad joke question card.
No, exactly. Well, yeah. So each dad joke card has 3 dad jokes on it.
Yep.
Are we going to look each other dead in the eyes? Oh, am I going first?
You've got the card ready, so
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I haven't looked at these yet, so they're going to be an immediate reaction.
Okay.
All right. How did the puppeteer get a new job?
How did the puppeteer get a new job?
He pulled some strings.
He did he? Wow.
Yep.
That
was a shit one to start with, wasn't it?
All right, rip it in. Well, let's see how the rest of this episode goes. But anyway,
we'll keep that in mind, notice.
Yeah, for sure. Only if we had some... Yeah, well, sure. We'll keep that in mind, absolutely. Well, message me on Discord. You know
why am I looking at my card?
Anyway, okay. What do you call a broken can opener?
I don't know. What do you call a broken can opener?
Are you ready for this one? A can't opener.
I think he's going to lose it.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
All right. Absolutely.
The reason that actually made me buy this was I picked up the box, and the one example they had on the outside of the box, I read it and went, fuck. Yeah. All right, I'm buying that.
And Taser, you guys, I feel you guys need to be tipsy for these.
Oh, well, I think that's something that we can definitely look at doing.
Yes,
absolutely, moving forward. Yeah, and especially since somebody's got something due middle of the year, we might need to bust some of those out earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for a little bit of drinky celebrating.
Exactly. But also the dad jokes I wanted to bring up as well, because I can now say live on air, congratulations to you and Taser.
Thank you very much.
For the baby boy.
Baby boy.
Exactly.
Yes, a little baby boy.
Had the gender reveal last week, I believe.
We did, yes. And we were very surprised because we were kind of hoping for a girl.
No, exactly. That's right. And I remember the whole time you guys have been discussing girl, and then all of a sudden the blue came out, and as your wife pointed out, she was like, Dylan was kind of like, it's a boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
In saying that, you're happy all the way. So
no,
for
exactly.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah, speaking of kids, yours are in like, both in big school now, hey?
Yes, they are. That's right. Willow started kindergarten this week, and yeah, it's weird, man. It's oh, I don't even know how to describe it.
Those greys coming through a little bit thicker now.
Dude, you saw the fucking silvers that I had going there. Thank God the barber chopped most of them off. But my God, yeah. But
absolutely.
No, I know. But seeing the littlest one, because I so Oliver's like he's evolved to the point of like I've seen no. But yes, he's on stage 2. Soon he'll be that Charizard. But no. Just seeing him grow up, I've now seen him change to the young man. Like you know, like he's not that baby faced little boy anymore. He's actually like a small human, you know. And then Willow's still in that baby face to me. This is how she looks now is how she's looked for the last like 3 years to me.
Yeah, give it time.
And then all of a sudden seeing her with a backpack on and the dress and that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
She'll be a young woman before.
Don't say that, man. No. She's going to be a baby forever.
Yeah. The only thing I don't envy about children is that having to go to school.
No, yes, exactly.
Because I think back now, like imagine imagine being us as experienced adults, and then going back to like kindergarten, and then knowing that you've got to go through all primary school and high school again.
But at the same time, though,
I don't envy kids who have to go back through primary school.
But also, adult life shit. Honestly, like I look at them and I'm like, what? 6 hours a day to like color in? It's not bad.
That's awesome.
That's a pretty good deal. It's like I can have smoko.
Notice has a great topic for discussion. Parents who have online content, but their children will probably see it in the future. And that winky face has got to do with OnlyFans, twitch.tv/2C3pod live.
Wait, what? I was not aware of this. Is it in my bedroom?
It is.
Okay, cool, good, anyway, exactly. But no, it's funny that you mentioned that though, because I think referring to the fact that you just said we were hoping for a girl. Imagine in 12 years he goes back and has a look and he's like, Well, fuck you, Dad.
Oh, well, it's they're gonna fucking know. Obviously.
Exactly.
Like,
Nah,
unless we
nah.
forget
Twitch
about
deletes past broadcasts. It's all good.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but YouTube doesn't though.
Experienced adults?
Not here.
No,
not
exactly.
at
That's
all,
why I'm
no.
like, maybe it's not that bad to go back in time.
That's right. Anyway, we're still waiting on some dad jokes, but anyway, I'll move on to the next one. My friend just invented the invisible airplane, but I can't see it taking off.
See, I was fine with the I can't see it. And then
Yeah.
he said taken off, and I'm like,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's not bad.
okay.
That's not bad. That's
Not
pretty
bad
good.
at all.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
okay.
That's pretty
What do
good.
you got?
All right, I'll bust out one more, and then maybe we should have a look at. Did you add some notes?
Sure did.
Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful. All right, my cat just got sick, and I don't think it's feline well.
Oh, it's not feline very well, is it?
Oh, okay, all right, Mister. I don't have a humor.
I don't have
Not a
much
single
humor.
humor to give.
Not a single humor. But yes, anyway, if we're going to be
Yeah.
talking about film, TV, and gaming stuff as well, are you familiar with Cloverfield, the movie Cloverfield?
Yes, I am. Now I'm going to bring up. I'm not sure if I've told you this, but I worked in a video store.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
No. And in that video store, Cloverfield came out right as I started working there.
Yeah.
And there was another gentleman there. I can't remember his name, and I don't care because he was a wanker.
Yep.
But he had just, and my manager told me this as on my first day of walking around, said that he had just gotten in trouble. Now, can you guess why he got in trouble?
Why did he get in trouble?
He got in trouble because he kept recommending Cloverfield, and people would come back and say it was awful.
And he got in trouble
And
for
he
that.
got in trouble for recommending a piece of shit. And she said, look,
Yeah.
you've got to stop recommending this movie. People hate it.
Wait,
Okay.
as
And
in-
he's like, but
as
it's
in,
great.
recommending people to rent the film and not
Yeah.
go, oh,
yeah.
okay, so
Oh,
not
is
just
there
saying,
anything new that's out that you can
He's like,
recommend?
"Oh,
And he's
what's
like, oh, Cloverfield's so good, revolutionary. And like blow it up its ass.
Yeah.
And then they come back and go, I got told to watch this and I paid for this and it's shit.
It
You
is
know?
crap. This is
Exactly. I know.
This is the reason I wanted to bring it up, because
Yeah.
there is news that there's a Cloverfield sequel in the works, but a sequel to the first film.
Exactly. A direct sequel to the
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, it seems like the world is divided, that the fact that a lot of people really fucking love that movie.
Who?
It's dog shit, man. It sucks. It really fucking does. I remember it was probably the first or the earliest experience of being in a cinema with my mother. We went to see it,
Yeah.
and we were both sitting there just like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah.
And at the end, where like the camera's looking up and the monster's like stepping on them, or whatever,
Oh.
us and people in the audience were like laughing at it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I just didn't quite understand. I was like, this movie sucks. And then, I mean, I get that it's a J.J. Abrams production. He's done a lot of like,
Oh, of
big
course he has,
blockbusters
yeah.
after that. But it's just a shit movie. And 10 Cloverfield Lane is one of the
John
best.
Goodman, that's right, exactly. And it's
That's
strange
right.
that they're going for a direct sequel to that instead of carrying on what they built in those same universe films.
Well, that's right. I mean, they attempted like an external story essentially with the Cloverfield paradox. Did you ever watch that?
No, I didn't.
Don't. It's
exactly.
fucking bad. It's really bad.
Exactly. I heard it was on par with Cloverfield, so I was like,
Well, I personally, I enjoy it more because Cloverfield just gives me a fucking headache. I don't mind first person, like found footage films at all.
Yeah,
But Cloverfield is like they've got the camera and they've gone, just do this.
yeah,
the whole time.
exactly. And that's
And
the
it drives me mental.
No, the reason that didn't work, but Blair Witch did, is because those moments in Blair Witch actually felt real for one, but
And
also
that was the first kind of experience that we ever had, and it was done so fucking well.
exactly, that's right. But they also didn't shove the shaky cam down your throat. You know,
Yeah.
like as in they relied more on realism of like awkward pauses and
Yeah.
two close-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cloverfield was just literally like as in just take this camera and go, ah! You know, just
right.
freak the fuck out. You know, like so. Cloverfield's a piece of shit. So I want to see it. I want to see the sequel.
So do I.
But I want to see it, and my expectations are so low
Yeah.
that it'll probably end up being okay. You know, like because my
Well,
expectations are so low.
and that's probably going to be the same for me too, because as we discussed in terms of the previous
Hmm.
films, we've got Cloverfield, which dog shit,
Yes.
and then 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was an absolute fucking masterpiece of a film, and that ended on a cliffhanger where they could have continued that story.
That's
I'm
exact-
kind of
yeah.
glad they didn't, because I like it when movies just end there and go, what's going to happen next, and they never
Yes.
resolve it.
Yes.
And then Cloverfield Paradox, which was previously known as the God Particle,
Mm.
comes out. And it's like, it tells the external reason why the aliens are doing what they are
Yeah,
doing. But
yeah.
it's kind of, anyway, it's dumb. It's real dumb.
Yes.
And then they reveal this. It's just like, I think the reason I'm interested in this is because I want to like this series.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I only like 1 out of 3 so far.
Exactly. It's not good odds. And
No,
I feel like
it's
after
not.
this one, it's going to be 1 out of 4.
Yeah,
You know?
and the reason that 10 Cloverfield Lane works so well, and we've talked about this on previous episodes in the past, go check the archives.
Absolutely.
Is because it is such a small, grounded, centralized story. It's not about the fate of the world.
Yes.
It's about the fate of this young woman who's kidnapped by this crazy dude who you're not really sure about at first.
Yeah.
Then it spins out of control. And then at the very end, it reveals, oh, this does take place in this particular fucking universe. And it opens that up. But it kept the story small.
Yeah.
And that's why it works so fucking well.
Exactly. That's
But
right.
anyway, yeah.
No, but yeah. I don't want to keep talking about Cloverfield. I feel like it doesn't deserve that much, but it is
that's
interesting that they've decided to go back to a sequel to that film directly, you know, instead of trying to carry on that Cloverfield name, which they did kind of fix and then kind of broke again, you know?
Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen there. But did we have any questions at all before we move on to the next topic? Completely disagree with 10 Cloverfield Lane. 100% need closure, and I'm happy to wait the great sequel to come out. It's not. That's the thing, Taser. This sequel's not going to tell us anything to do with 10 Cloverfield Lane.
No, that's right. It's a direct sequel to Cloverfield from 2008.
The
and
first
that's
one.
the problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Cloverfield 2.
Do you reckon Tim? What's his name?
Minchin?
Well, that'd be fantastic. by the way.
Alan.
Tim Allen. Oh, Tim Allen. Back in the
Yeah. They go, they hear this in the distance and they're like, it's coming. And he's like, oh, that's fucking great.
What's his name? What's his name? God damn it. It's not Tim Miller, is it? It's he's the comedic actor who plays like the voice, the guy who's holding the camera in 10 Cloverfield Lane. He was in Underwater. He was in She's Out of Your League. He was in one of the Transformers movies where he died like that. I just can't think of his fucking name.
Give
And
me a
like
second.
every time I see him, I'm like, ugh, but I don't mind when I see him in things. I just thought he was
in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
No, he was in Cloverfield, the first one. He was the guy who voiced the guy.
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller, that's
Yeah,
right.
so not Tim at all.
I knew it was something. Something. I was like, is it Tim Miller? What is it? I know it's not Tim Miller, but is it Tim Miller? Anyway, if it's got him in it, the thing about that is like, I don't mind TJ Miller.
It's been that long.
I just don't like hearing his voice.
Yeah, I get...
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that, but
But he's fine when he's in things and he's good in things. Have you seen She's Out of My League?
Jay
Jay
a long time ago. That came out when I worked at the video store. Just saying.
Great fucking movie. It's a dumb comedy and it's great. I love it. And he's fantastic in it. His comedic timing is perfect.
Yeah.
But in this, I'm just like, ugh.
Hey, what did you think of him in Deadpool?
Fine, because he was very much a side character where he just he was just a bartender. And
Yeah.
I get it. I get that when he's
He was
playing
like
those
Weasel,
kind of
like,
roles.
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But in 10 Cloverfield Lane, I just can't go back and buy into the realism that fan footage films try to capture.
Yeah.
Because it's got like A-listers in it.
Yes.
You know, if you're doing a found footage film, you've got to have people that we don't recognize.
No, exactly.
And
That's
what
right. To
draws
try
me out of it.
Yeah, the sense of realism and that wasn't water. It was condensation on the table.
I saw that when I walked back in the room. I was like, I'm going to clean it up. Hopefully they can't see it, but they clearly can.
Exactly, and hopefully it's now gone from your vision. But that was from my Slurpee. Yes.
Anyway, but the next bit of news I really wanted to include here because I think this is one that you may enjoy, but I am personally looking forward to. And Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead is on its way, and it's got an A-list cast. It's a sequel to, well, obviously the Dead series. Obviously, you know, Zack Snyder is famous for remaking Dawn of the Dead, one of the best zombie adaptations of a previous property of all time. It's a great fucking movie. I think so anyway.
Yes.
But Army of the Dead reportedly releases for May 2021. I didn't look further into this, so if you've got something else.
Absolutely. Well, it is a Netflix property, so we're all going to be able to get it straight up, which is amazing. And also, the lead actor, Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with that whatsoever. This is a guy who I thought when he tried to transition to Hollywood was going to be a huge flop.
Same as John Cena, because they made those wrestling production films that were like really bad.
They're gonna take that lead role they can get with an audience that they've like built in, so everyone goes, oh, it's Batista, oh, it's John Cena, oh, it's The Rock, you know, like that kind of thing, you know. Stone Cold Steve Austin did the same thing, you know, like he went into WWE films before he then tried
What's that movie that he's in that like
The Condemned?
The Condemned is the only one that everybody knows about.
Yeah, because it's fucking great.
It's a great movie.
It's fantastic, and the concept is amazing.
I think it's one of the best like WWE production films.
Oh, well, I mean, when you stack it up against the other ones, it's not much. Have you seen See No Evil? The one with Kane?
I have seen those. I think Taser and I watched one because she was into like wrestling. I'm pretty sure we watched one like 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember that being. It's not a horror film that's going to blow you away.
No, but it was good.
Fine.
It was serviceable. It was their first dabble into horror, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder,
Yeah,
fantastic. I didn't know this existed. until you put it in the notes.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
I know, and I am more than happy with this
Yeah.
because I've said ever since it first came out, Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder remake, is one of the very few remakes of a film that is as good, if not better, than the original. And I'll stand by that till the end of the time.
And I think that counts extra. It's got extra points because I think Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, it was made just before good zombie movies really started to get their stride.
Oh, I don't know, man.
And what I mean by that is it's great, but when you watch it nowadays in comparison to like the Dawn of the Dead remake or a few zombie movies after that, like some of the special effects don't quite hold up as well because they are old school, but it still holds up in its own right.
I think Day of the Dead, which I'm 99% sure followed Dawn of the Dead, was when George A really nailed it. He nailed it. Have you seen Day of the Dead?
Yes, because you lent me those movies.
I did.
I gave you like 2 of them back to you.
I remember back when we started the podcast, you returned one DVD and said, and maybe next week you'll get another one. I didn't get another one.
Because I don't know where they are.
Exactly. But yeah, Day of the Dead, just look at the cover of that.
I know, yeah. It's just
I bought that from JB when I was 15.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like they let me buy that and they were like, okay.
I've got a similar story, except they did question me on it.
Oh, really?
I was 12 and I was riding my push bike down to Jesmond shopping centres. Those local Newcastle will know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
And on the corner inside the shopping centre, there used to be a Sanity there. Sanity, for those overseas or don't know, is like a completely dead, like, music and movies retailer franchise.
It's still at Green Hills.
There are still some available, but I have no idea why. They just sell ex-rentals nowadays.
And they sell puzzles.
Do they?
Yes, a wide variety of puzzles, and it's pretty good.
Anyway, I rode down there and I was able to purchase with my own money, but the lady did question me on it and said, if you're not supposed to have this, you can take it back. Team America World Police.
Oh my God.
I was with my mates who said, this movie's so funny. And I was like, it's MA, I'm not really allowed to watch it.
Yeah.
Then my mates slept over that night. Sean and Bruce, if you ever watch this, shout out to you guys who had already watched it. They were allowed to watch those sort of movies before I did. We took it home, we sat down, and everybody in the family watched it that night with Sean and Bruce. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching? They're pissing at their little pants laughing. And mum and dad are like, what the fuck did he bring home? Like, it was so good, and I love it.
And you got to watch puppet sex. Was that the first time you awkwardly watched a sex scene with your parents in the room? And it was puppets?
Probably the earliest memory of that would be that. But surely it's happened prior in other movies that I wasn't aware of.
Well, surely it was the first time you saw poop on a chest.
What?
In the puppet sex scene.
Is that the extended
He
edition?
shits. Oh, it might have been, yeah.
I don't think I have the extended edition.
There's poop on the chest.
There is enough.
Yes,
in Team America World Police.
But again, we've preached on it many times in the archives. Team America, I would love a sequel to that.
Yeah, and I know they're not going to do it because they've talked about it.
They said it's like the worst experience they've ever had, even though it's one of the best films they've ever done.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. Anyway.
We've missed a fair bit here in chat, but Elle's jumped in. Hey, Elle, how you doing? Girls all sticking together, apparently. That's good.
All right, what have we got here? Remember when the Sanity had CDs in the wall and you press the buttons and they're able to listen?
Oh, yeah. And you
could demo if you liked the music before you bought the CD.
And now here we live in a world where we've got to stay 6 foot apart from everybody. Whereas back in the day, you could just put any like headphones on that like were ratty and gross and stuff. And,
if
that's fantastic.
If any hi-fi shop has in-ear headphones to test, don't do it. Just don't do it. Or any headphones for that matter. Just take a gamble.
Do you remember buying CD singles for like $4? And you'd have the song, a remix of the song, and then a shitty fucking B track that didn't even make the album.
Yeah. Do you remember that song?
The ketchup song.
Boogie Punks or something. Don't you want somebody?
Oh yeah.
It was like that, but it was like a cover of that by some chick who ended up being a porn star, I think it was. And for whatever reason, I owned that CD. And I also owned the single disc for several Nelly songs, although I think that was my brother. But Fat Man Scoop Crookley Clan.
Oh,
Fat Man Scoop Crookley Clan. I had the single to that too. I don't know why though.
I had the single to the ketchup song.
Yeah, that was a great song.
Yes, that one.
That's a great song.
Nailed it. Exactly. Clip that. That's fantastic.
You know what song is great though from back then?
And steps 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. My boots
scooting, baby, is driving me crazy.
Anyway,
you know what?
We don't know the words.
You know what a good song is from that era that I always remember, and I think it still holds up. You know, some of those songs are kind of silly now, like it's a song about tomato sauce or whatever. Also known as Train Smash in Australia. But do you remember Murder on the Dance Floor?
Sophie Ellis Bextor.
Yeah, fuck yeah! What a great song.
That's a great song. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Murder on the dance floor. Dun, dun, dun.
And I remember the film clip.
Then
She
I
like threw
killed
butter
her.
or something on the ground, so they slipped
Yeah,
over and killed
exactly.
her. I don't know. It was a bit weird.
It was murder on
Murder
the dance floor.
Oh, mate, what a great
Literally.
tune. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
Yes, but we're still
appreciate
waiting.
you waking up for this. I'm
Yes,
glad you're
thank you for
enjoying it.
popping in. Yeah, we're still waiting on everybody's favourite dad jokes. But moving on to the next bit of
Yes,
topic
dad
that I
jokes,
thought
yes.
you would be interested in. I'm skipping over the whole thing about Ultraman. I just thought the idea that there's like a live action.
I still haven't read down the notes.
It's fine. Ultraman. I'll touch on it briefly.
I'm
Ultraman.
skipping over it. Let me explain the whole thing.
I'll touch on it briefly. Ultraman is like a. It was kind of like Japanese Power Rangers, essentially.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if Power Rangers was originally Japanese, but they're very similar. Anyway, back in the 80s, it was just like, this live action / big cardboard robots smashing against big giant aliens, whatever.
Yes.
And yes. And there's recently like a live action trailer for the latest Ultraman film. And I watched the
Okay.
trailer of this. This would normally be in Trailer Park, but it's not really worth it.
No.
But the cinematography and like the shooting of like the live action characters is good and cinematic worthy. And then they show the visual effects of the giant Ultraman robot, I guess, going up against like some of the big monsters. And there's just something about, I'm pretty sure it's Japanese cinema.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good.
Okay.
Like at all.
Really?
Yeah, and you can tell it's CGI. I would have appreciated if they went the route of Shin Godzilla, which I still haven't seen yet, but I'm pretty sure they used like actual puppets and rescaled them to be like to size.
What does Shin mean?
I don't know, but I'm assuming it's something to do with like remake in live action or something lately. I don't actually know, but I need to look that up.
I was going to say, I've heard that a lot in those Japanese films.
Yeah, Notice Tollins might be able to help us with that because he's good with languages. But yeah, there's Shin Godzilla and then there's Shin Ultraman. So if you're interested in the Ultraman franchise at all, look it up. It might be up your alley. It just, there's something about, when you watch like high octane action Indian film trailers.
Yes.
And
yes.
the CGI sometimes just looks like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
How do they not have the same technology and the animation skills as like regular Hollywood?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it just looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
And this gives me the same kind of vibe, but it makes me kind of want to watch it.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't relate to it, but I do find Japanese film fascinating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is so hit or miss in that regard. And the way you've described it, especially in a 2021 film,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I kind of want to check
like,
it out.
Is this finished? Is this complete?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it just looks a bit kind of ridiculous. But the next bit of news I did want to include, which I think you'd be interested in, is Baby Driver 2 has been confirmed.
What?
What?
Oh my god! I'm just going to quickly say Shin. It can mean extend or new.
Well,
so
new, there you
in
go.
film,
So new Godzilla, new
Godzilla.
Ultraman.
Yeah,
There you go. I
exactly.
was
That's
kind
right.
of
But Baby Driver 2, are you serious?
Baby Driver 2, look up the next note. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Absolutely, I am all on board with that, and you still haven't seen it.
I still haven't seen
Oh
it. No.
man,
Like,
you need
Edgar
to.
Wright has finished the script for Baby Driver 2.
Oh, that's so fucking
starring
exciting.
Ansel Elgort again.
Yes,
reprising his role.
It has to be. It has to be. Yeah, no, that's incredible news because I honestly think you watch this movie, it'll be one of your favorite movies.
Like, I know everybody has told me that, including yourself, and I just need to do so.
I remember watching it and like being blown away and can't wait to talk about this on the podcast because you're such a musically driven person.
Yeah.
And that musically driven, pun intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this would definitely be so far up your alley. The way it is filmed in that, Edgar Wright is a fantastic filmmaker. We've seen it with Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World as well.
I really wish that we got his version of Ant-Man in the overarching MCU.
I know.
I know his cinematic style is very different, and that's why they parted their ways with Edgar Wright. But that would have
worked so fucking well.
Yeah, I know.
And that would have made Ant-Man stand out and not just look like another cookie cutter Marvel film.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, so Edgar Wright's fantastic. The fact that we're getting Baby Driver 2 is incredible. I cannot wait for that. And if it's anything like the first one, we're in for a treat. Like,
I don't know anything about like the first one in terms of like, the second one in terms of like when it's being released.
No.
What its box office success was like, but I do know, as we said, the script is finished.
Yeah.
So anybody who's a fan of Baby Driver 1 out there, I'm assuming Kevin Spacey's not
well,
returning.
you love... yeah, exactly.
If he did, I'm sure this movie would tank.
Yeah, but you're a fan of John Bernthal?
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. And you add John Hamm, Jamie Foxx to that as well. Like, as in the characters from Baby Driver 1.
And I love John Hamm. Everything he's in is fantastic.
He's really fucking good.
I'm not a huge watcher of like TV shows.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling inclined to go back and watch the entirety of Mad Men just because he's the lead actor. Sorry.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And you've also got Alison Brie sprinkled in there as well.
Oh,
but
really?
I mean, how many fucking Emmy awards that show won?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a show that I really should go back and watch. And since it's been done for so long,
Yeah, that's right.
It is one that we could sit down and like completely binge the whole thing. But
For sure.
like even in the one episode of Black Mirror that I saw that has him in it,
Yeah.
he's fantastic, man.
Yes, that
He's so
episode
good.
was like one of the earliest episodes. Taser, if you're watching still, when we watched Black Mirror, it was the
It was White Christmas.
it was
what
White
called.
Christmas, where they're set in like a small
Yeah,
house and they're having a
cabin,
discussion,
yeah.
and then at the end they reveal that he's
Don't spoil it.
yeah, but
I know it's old, but yeah, no, we can talk
Okay,
about it.
okay,
I
well,
only
don't
watched
spoil
it 2 weeks ago. No,
Well,
let's spoil it. Fuck it.
It's been a good.
We're going to
few
spoil
years
the
since I've
Black
watched
Mirror
it.
episode. If you're listening on the podcast, skip forward about 2 minutes. Okay, but if you're watching live, just go la 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 for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes,
more so than you're already doing.
yes,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so that episode, like I know I reckon 99% of Black Mirror episodes really blow me away. Dead air on a podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, dead air on a podcast. Never mind. But what was I talking about? Black
criticize.
Mirror. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like that episode where they're set in like the hut. I don't exactly remember what the conversation was, but I remember at the very end where like he was let go from his sentence or whatever.
Yes.
But like the penalty that they had to maintain through the rest of their life was like they were blocked out from being able to see other people.
Oh.
And Black Mirror, if you haven't watched it and you're into like Twilight Zone style shit, like that's the
yeah.
episode to get you started. But they can all do that.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
as in not just White Christmas, but also White Bear is
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal as well. And then you've got Kill the DJ, I think it's called. Have you seen that one?
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But the episodes that I've watched so far, probably like half of them so far.
Yeah.
But I'd say all bar like 2 or 3 of them out of like the 8 or 10 that I've watched. Fucking like
Phenomenal.
on point.
Yeah, like, they're really fucking good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you'll watch one and then you'll watch another one that's like way better and you're like, oh, that was terrible. But when you watch that, you were like, that was fantastic. You know, like,
and I do
they're
like
so
as well
good.
that it's to some degree they're all like interconnected into the same universe in a way.
Yeah, there's little snippets that like you
Yeah.
can hint at, like as in from one of the episodes, you see a poster for that person who was in that in the background of that,
Yeah.
and then there's also a song that's been recurring through
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 or 5 of the episodes.
Have you
like,
seen the episode? You might not be up to it just yet. Where that
I'm not
song
watching in
comes
order.
from?
I'm just watching like
Oh, okay.
I rated episodes and stuff. and
Okay.
I'll eventually watch them all.
There
But
is an episode of Black Mirror rarely fails. That's right. Yeah, but there is an episode which does reveal where that song comes from.
Yeah.
you know, and it's like every other.
Oh, yeah.
Every other
Yeah.
episode, it's just a song.
Yes.
but they made an episode about where that song comes from and how terrifying that is. It's
Exactly.
Fucking, yeah, anyway,
No, absolutely. Do we have our first dad joke in there?
okay. If you want to read that out,
My wife is really mad at the fact that I have no sense of direction, so I packed up my stuff and write.
it's not bad.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And
one,
that's actually
Catherine.
the first actual dad joke.
Exactly.
we've got.
That's what I mean. Yes,
We've been
exactly.
streaming for 48
Good.
minutes.
Thank you.
and we
Keep them
find-
coming.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
absolutely.
Everybody,
Yeah, that's
if you
good.
have to Google a dad joke, please do so because we want to read these out. But while nobody is sending us dad jokes, we'll continue with the topics.
Well, before we jump into that, we do have one more dad joke on each of our cards.
Absolutely.
So-
Maybe we should read a joke and then move on to the next topic.
Exactly. We shall
Yes.
do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to hit me with one afterwards?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. All right. Why did the girl smear peanut butter on the road?
I could think of 1,000 reasons, but what's that one specific reason?
To go with the traffic jam.
See, that's like American. Because when was the last time you had
No,
peanut
it
butter
would've-
and jam together?
If it was American, it would have said to go with the traffic jelly.
Yeah, that's right. So that,
Yeah.
that joke isn't written for anybody.
No, peanut butter and jam. Have you not had a peanut butter and jam sandwich?
Yeah, like once.
You did it wrong. Otherwise, you'd have more. They're fantastic.
Okay. I'm getting judged real bad over here.
Yes, you are.
I installed an electric fence around my garden, but my neighbor is dead against it.
Well played.
Yes, excellent.
Oh, no, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So
Black
the
Mirror
next
is
one,
fantastic.
this next one isn't necessarily news. It's just something that I found out about recently that I thought you'd be excited about.
Okay.
Is that there is a free-to-watch feature-length Friday the 13th film available to watch on YouTube that was completely filmed by just fans of the movie, fans of the franchise.
I feel like it's old.
I know it's a.
I feel like I heard about that a
I
while
haven't
ago.
watched it just yet.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
This article that I have right here is from November last year.
Okay, no. So that's
So
not
it's a
too
little
old.
while
Yeah,
ago
yeah.
now, but I just wanted to bring this up if in case you weren't aware of it.
No. Well, I'm not sure. I feel like I might have seen an article about this a while ago. Like I'm talking maybe a year or two ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I
It's called Voorhees. And
Voorhees,
And anybody who's a fan of the franchise, I urge you to check it out. I haven't watched it just yet. But
I've never heard of it.
I'm in. Well, here you go. You're welcome. I know you haven't heard of the franchise. I thought you
Oh
meant
yeah, I
this film.
see. Oh, it's an hour and 39.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a full feature length fan-made film, and in fact, it's free to watch on YouTube, and it's set within the universe. Apparently, it's obviously not signed off by the producers, so it is its own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm super keen on checking that out.
No, absolutely. And not only that, there is actually another one from a year ago called Friday the 13th Vengeance that is an hour and 34 minutes.
Ooh, so we've got a few things to watch.
Exactly, and that one is in 4K, Ultra HD, yeah, from 1.6 million views from a year ago, and then Wet Paint Pictures released 3 months ago, the Voorhees one.
Right, okay.
Either. I'm adding these to my watch list right now.
I was about to say, if they're both free to watch, or at least, available to be purchased somewhere, look out for those videos on YouTube, because if there's one thing that I've learned recently on our YouTube channel, have you read the comments for our Bloody Hell review?
No, I have not.
People are like, there was one comment that I read earlier today or yesterday, which was only from about a week ago, saying like, I walked out of this in the cinema and I had nobody to talk to about it. So I went to YouTube and found your review and blah, 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 blah. Like, they loved it. And it was because of us. They were like, when you see a film that's fairly niche or cliche or whatever, and then nobody's really talking about it, but you find the one person who's interested. That was us for that person.
No, exactly. I love that, because we've done this in the past where we're like this... Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo. We went and saw that, and we had a great discussion about it. It's all on YouTube, 2C3 Pod. Check it out on YouTube.
Yep.
We had a great discussion about it, but nobody else in our lives saw it.
Nobody did.
And we're like, but it was fantastic, and we watched it at the movies. Why didn't you see it? Yeah, so I love that. I absolutely adore that. So if there's any films that you've seen in theaters, head on over to YouTube, because there's a good fucking chance that we've seen it and have a review, and we always want feedback and interaction. And what do you think of it?
That's right. But most importantly, it's the films that other people most likely have not gone to see.
Exactly.
Because it's not the latest big blockbuster. And last year, obviously, and heading towards this year, films came to cinemas that wouldn't normally come to cinemas. So we got the privilege of seeing things like Bloody Hell, and you got to see Savage and things like that.
Absolutely.
If there's a few sort of niche things in there that you want to check out, go check out our channel. It might be there.
Yeah, Dirty Rotten Scout. No, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Low down dirty criminals. Dirty Rotten fucking Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Do you remember that movie with fucking oh my god, Steve Martin and Steve Martin and Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
Yeah.
That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah. Speaking of Steve Martin, I swear I saw an article a little while ago. I didn't put it in the notes because it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I think there's a sequel to Cheaper by the Dozen on the way.
Really?
I think it's a Disney Plus thing.
There's is actually 2 sequels.
I'm aware of that, but apparently it's like Home Alone again. Like there's another one apparently.
What's the word for like 15? Because it'd be cheaper by the septuplin, like something like
cheaper
that.
by the many chids.
Cheaper by the kill me. Cheaper by the welfare check.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But on that topic as well, I didn't actually add it to the notes this week, but there is something that's interesting that's happening with Disney Plus soon at the end of the month.
Have you seen the view count for the Bloody Hell review?
That's what I'm saying. Like, look it up and look at the comments. Yeah.
No, exactly. I haven't checked the comments, but the view count's nutty.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
No, that's fantastic. That's our highest review by a mile.
Yeah, people like a good movie and they like a good review of a good movie. So go check it out.
Yeah, and I can't remember his name, but like, as in big ups to the actual screenwriter of it who acknowledged our review on Instagram and stuff. I think his name was Sam somebody. I can't remember exactly, but either way, like, bloody legend, for jumping out and acknowledging that and looking for press, Oh yeah,
it's not really a dad joke, it's just a regular joke, but what's ET short for? Because he has tiny legs. That's great.
That is pretty good. Yeah. That is pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Oh yes. That one hits harder because Taser and I actually have an in-joke about ET that I wouldn't say here because nobody will get it, but Taser, you'll get it.
Wait, there was another one up.
ET. Go home.
Oh, wait, we've got a few back in the comments now.
Okay, well, let's have a quick review before we move on to the next
one. All right,
one.
we had from Carly, I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
I think one of those is in that pile somewhere.
Why
can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because it would be a foot. Because it would be a foot. You
don't get that?
Because
a foot is 12 inches.
Yeah, no, I get that. But is that worded correctly or am I reading that wrong?
No, that's completely right. Yeah, why can't a nose be 12 inches?
Yeah.
Because it would be a foot.
Yeah, but it says because it would be a foot.
Oh,
I'm calling out bad spelling, Taylor.
I am so sorry that you married him. Yeah. I can't believe someone stole my limbo stick. Seriously, how low can you go?
That's pretty good. Well, if somebody stole the limbo stick, they wouldn't be going very low at all. Is the Queen of the Dad Jokes? Is that? We've got a few people here. All right, what do we got? Is there any more? Oh, that's it for ET.
No more.
All right, cool. But Disney Plus is getting more shit.
Yeah?
Did you hear about this?
No.
It's called Star.
Wait,
and I thought it was yet another streaming service.
Yeah.
Because as I was scrolling through notes for this episode yesterday,
Yeah.
it was like such and such is coming to Floorball, and then the article underneath that was like such and such is coming to Blinky Dink. I was like,
wait,
they weren't the actual names of the streaming services. I'm making the point that there's now 1,000 streaming services, and I don't recognize what the fuck names are.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So I heard, such and such is coming to Star.
Yeah.
But Star going to Disney Plus. So they're having more than just Disney properties moving forward from the 23rd of February.
They're completing world domination, and they're buying these bigger properties.
Assuming so.
Well, not bigger properties, but buying these properties that have a lot of content and bringing it to them.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, right. So what they've done with Nat Geographic, the fact that that Disney owns ESPN, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They're just slowly chipping away. They've taken out some big dogs, ESPN, Nat Geo. They own Fox as well.
Absolutely.
They've taken some big dogs, but now they're just picking off the little ones as they come.
Why wouldn't you?
No, exactly. That's right. Yeah,
it's breadcrumbs to them.
No, exactly. That's right. And then you got Netflix sitting there, and that's the thing. People think Disney Plus could be a Netflix killer. Not a fucking chance.
No.
Netflix has enough of an audience now and money behind it and subs and all that shit.
Yeah,
that
fine.
Netflix is not going anywhere. I'm sorry, if they can pump $150 million into a film, I think they're okay.
That's right. And the same can be said for Amazon and Hulu and all those other streaming services. Like, they've become the new, cable TV Foxtel.
You're in trouble later.
I know. They could be stealing it to jewel this out.
Yeah, exactly. You're in
Bring
trouble.
it on, bitch. McDonald's doing kangaroo. McDonald's doing kangaroo in their kids' meals. It's called a hoppy meal. That's not bad.
It's pretty good.
It's
local. It's relevant.
It is, yeah.
Exactly.
And you know
Sorry,
what?
Elle, if you
Kangaroo beef on a McDonald's burger, we'll never see it. But that would be the best decision they ever make. That would be delicious.
Why haven't they done that?
I don't know. I guess it's probably against people would be like, kangaroo.
No, I'm sorry. They sell it at every fucking supermarket in our country.
Yeah, I know, but not everybody buys it.
No, I know, but still, not everybody buys the chicken classic. Not everybody buys a McChicken.
True, that's right. Or a filet fish, or fillet fish, as I used to call it.
Can you sing a song about Tony Hawk?
I'm waiting for the follow-up.
Riding on a skateboard, riding really fast, jumping through the air, then he flies away. Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk, he is more than just the bird. He is also a man.
A man.
Yeah. Anyway. How is that? I don't know. Is there a follow-up? Is there I
don't know.
Is that the first part to a dad joke, or did I just waste my time?
Lit.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow as well if you're not already. Thanks for tuning in.
I told my girlfriend that she drew her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty fucking good.
That's not bad at all. Anyway,
yeah.
Final bit of news of the week is I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty on this because there's
you said that about Ultraman, and it was 10 minutes later, and we still don't know what Shin means.
I know, but legitimately, I can't get into this because there's 1,000 videos on YouTube all about it, but explaining this whole GameStop fucking stock exchange deal.
Now, do you know the ins and outs of it? Because I would love to be filled in.
Okay, I do, but there's no way I could explain it to you without embarrassing the fuck out of myself.
No, that's fine. Just give me the general gist. It was something to do with the shares and the stock prices?
So essentially, GameStop was dying, right?
Yes,
and
of course.
Big wig hedge fund investors were like investing in GameStop to lose.
Okay,
and it's called shorting, where they basically, if I explain this correctly, somebody in the chat might be able to explain this better, is that they were making money on the fact that this thing was dying in the ass.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like a reverse wager, essentially.
Were they essentially investing to alter the price to then help themselves?
No, this is what happened, though, is that a bunch of Redditors got together and they just said, fuck these guys. They bought into GameStop really big.
So the price fucking
skyrocketed, and all of these hedge fund dudes lost billions of dollars that they were guaranteeing on this thing to fail.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But the crazy thing about this that I wanted to bring up in our film, TV, and gaming podcast, Hollywood has already bought the rights to make a movie about it.
It was a fucking week ago.
I know.
It was a week ago. No, but that's the thing. Like, as in, okay, with this, I want to know, has somebody already quickly penned a script to it? Or has somebody made some... How do you buy the rights to this?
I don't exactly know, but it's a good article to bring up.
No, exactly. That's right. Yeah. How do you buy the rights to that? Unless it's some kind of legality thing where they needed to go to GameStop, like head honchos, and say, we want the rights to all of your documents to be able to get the inside scoop so that we can write a film about this in 2 years.
Yeah.
When it's not relevant anymore.
I'll read what the article says, and this is an article from PC Gamer, but according to Deadline, who is usually pretty reputable for like their sources, essentially. Film studio...
I just wanted to say Siege, yes, Big Short, fantastic. Sorry, no,
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
film studio MGM, who we're all familiar with MGM.
When the lion roars.
Has bought the rights to a book proposal written by Ben Mizerick called The Antisocial Network, if that sounds familiar, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Despite the Redditor versus Wall Street beef, it's only breaking public consciousness, blah, blah, blah. Mezerick has apparently already has his proposal in the market by the end of last week. So he's already written like an idea, I guess. And,
Yeah.
and he was like,
At least
who
the
wants
concept.
it?
Yeah,
Who wants
right.
it? And MGM was like, we'll take it.
Wow.
So,
A fucking week.
yeah.
It's been like a week and a half or something like
Yeah.
that. The meme still hadn't cooled down yet.
No, that's right. We hadn't even
And
gone over
somebody-
the Bernie Sanders fucking meme yet, which Siege knows that I'm completely fucking sick and tired of at this point.
I don't get it.
It's just an old dude.
No, I
sitting in
know.
the
That's what I
cold.
mean. Like as in, I get that. He's an old dude. He was keeping warm. And I'm like, why is it so funny to see him sitting places?
I didn't.
I feel like I'm the old dude on the bed. I know.
So am I, man.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm 1 year from 30.
I know you're 1 year from 30 that you
Okay, all right. I got it cut off with the mic. Why'd you have to repeat that shit? Yes, I'm getting old, but yeah. No, I just can't believe that in the world that we live, something like that can happen. It can draw that much viral attention, and somebody can go, I have an idea for a movie film. And then they're like, we'll pay you.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
That
yeah.
quick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
quick for a movie film.
For a movie
What
film.
kind of crack am I smoking?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like something that I would say on my stream on a regular basis. But
No,
anyway,
you don't have to love Bernie. Simple as that.
You don't.
No.
Just choose not to.
Yeah. So a vowel saves another vowel's life. The other vowel says A-E-I-O-U. You
Not
tell
about-
your wife she's bringing the A game tonight.
Oh, she is. Yeah, they've got that good happening. Anyway, do we have any more dad jokes before we move on to whatever the rest of this episode is going to be about?
Oh, well, I mean, this was just the warm-up episode for next week. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're... okay, so for the people who weren't tuned in at the very top, thank you for joining us, of course. Make sure to hit that
Absolutely.
follow button if you haven't already. But more or less, this week was just us warming back up because it's been so many weeks since we've actually sat down together. Next week, we're going to look at starting up the podcast. It's going to be interactive like this, where we can read the comments, acknowledge you guys, interact with you guys, and basically have a theme topic for the week.
Yeah.
You know, we might still hit the news like we did a little bit here and stuff like that. And then we're looking at probably for YouTube, we'll discuss whether we're going to have Trailer Park and Yalsall Pass, YouTube exclusive kind of thing as our weekly YouTube videos.
Yep.
Obviously DTC if we see a film in the cinema as well. And Patreon, we'll figure that out as well. Make sure to head on to Patreon, 2C3Pod. But yeah, so more or less, this is what the podcast is going to basically feel like, but we'll have an overriding theme for the episode.
That's
We're going
right.
to sit down, bullshit with you guys, talk as much as you want, comment as much as you want, and yeah.
And basically, the news topics are there in the background for when chat's a bit quiet.
No, exactly, that's right. Yeah, when the dad jokes fall flat.
That's right,
Exactly.
of course. But welcome in, Bethy D. It's good to see
Welcome
you back,
back.
in the chat. Anyway,
Absolutely. All right.
ready to get your laugh on, ladies and gents?
All right.
You are, obviously.
No,
You're ready
yeah,
to go.
Of course.
What do you call a group of killer whales playing instruments? An orchestra.
Okay.
That's
fair.
I feel like you have to laugh when you're doing this in a podcast setting, don't you?
Well, it does make the dead air a little bit off-putting, but at the
right,
same
anyway.
time, we can acknowledge it. That's for
yes,
sure.
of course. Yes.
A steak pun
Mm,
is a rare, medium, well done.
not bad.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
yeah.
It tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, last time I laughed at these kind of jokes, I was slightly high.
Hmm.
So it made these experiences.
Thank you, Toby.
Yes, these experiences a lot more enjoyable. But,
Absolutely.
yeah. Anyway, like usually at this point of the podcast where we've talked about like the news and essentially we talk about what we've watched at home.
Yes.
And I had, because we still kind of wanted to do podcast episodes since our last one and we just didn't,
Of course.
I had a back catalogue of things that I actually had watched that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, but they're gone now.
No, I was going to say, I've watched
on.
so much shit at home that if I was listing it, we could make a whole episode of what I've just watched at home.
That's right. But there are a few things that I do want to discuss very briefly. And one of those is the movie. Before we get into that, what did your eyes light up with? I just saw your reaction to something.
We got another dad joke in the
Mr.
comments.
Poopy Bungholio, welcome in, my friend. He's a regular on
Ah.
my stream. Welcome in, my
Coming
friend.
over from Dylan 2C3 Pod. Love to see it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'll let you read that one.
How do you find Will Smith in the snow? Follow the Fresh Prince.
I know. I like
That's a
that.
good one. I
That's
really
good.
like that.
I also appreciate that one greatly because it's pop culture reference.
It is,
Okay,
yes,
that's perfect for our
movie-based.
film, TV, gaming, and bullshit podcast.
Yeah, maybe that's what it should be changed to now. But,
I've
yeah.
been telling myself that's what it is now, like trying to go, oh, well, it's not really film, TV, and gaming anymore because we're going to be talking shit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Well, that's why I changed my original introduction.
Yes,
because it
I
was
saw,
like the
yeah.
weird, wild, and wonderful things of the world of entertainment. But that's obviously got room to improve.
I was gonna say, but we're probably just gonna spend half the time bullshitting about life.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
why not?
But yeah, the one thing that I did want to talk about on this podcast whatever you would call it nowadays, is something that I did watch recently that is new.
Yeah.
And that's the movie Soul.
Soul.
We talked about Soul a little while ago where you said, fuck it, I'm not going to watch it. I don't have Disney. Fuck Disney. I'm not going to watch it.
Of course.
So I bit the bullet and got Disney Plus again because I really wanted to watch The Mandalorian Season 2, and I kept it since then. And so far it's been worth my money because, god damn it, Soul is fucking amazing.
I am so excited to watch this one. Now, as I explained off air, I do have access to Disney Plus now, which I'm stoked about, and I can't wait to watch it because Disney Pixar.
Yeah.
I was so geared up to see this in cinemas, but unfortunately, with the way the world's gone and the scheduling conflicts, I haven't had the chance to go to the cinema to watch it. So it's sitting there, and I'm so glad that it's living up to the hype.
Yeah, I love that. There's a few aspects to this which I haven't got written down anywhere, so I'm going to pull them out of the back of my hat. Basically, is that first thing I do want to discuss is how fucking good the animation is.
Yes,
it looks like they're in live action settings with cartoon characters, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like when they're in the real world. Essentially, it's just that fucking good.
Yes.
But then the story itself, it starts out as this man who's like a jazz player. He's kind of down on his luck. He's teaching us a class instead of living out his dream.
Yes.
And then the whole story of how becoming a soul or whatever else takes a turn.
And then he gets his big break, and then
well, sort of, kind of. But you'll watch the film.
Yes. Okay.
But
that's fine.
Yeah, it makes you think that you kind of want the film to continue on this story, and then it changes, and then you're like, oh. But then it ramps up that story of like the afterlife and the pre-life, and it's just like fucking holy shit. What the third thing I like about this movie is that kids will watch this, and just like every other Disney Pixar movie, they're going to like, oh, pretty colors and cute characters. But adults are going to be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm depressed now.
Absolutely. And I feel like the last time Disney Pixar did that to me was Inside Out. Have you seen Inside Out?
Same developers, apparently.
Oh, absolutely.
This film is basically that, but kind of different.
No, exactly. To me, Soul kind of appears from the outside a little bit more adult. Like Inside Out was still very much centered around the child,
the child's emotions. But in this case, it's heavy on the adult. It's not like adult themes where it's like, oh, he's talking about masturbating or whatever. It's just like it's adult themes in the sense of like it's talking about
he like David Carradine himself in the closet. You know, he was
yeah. But like, what are you doing with your life, and are you fulfilling that? And is what you're striving towards becoming podcasters really worth it in the end? Are you getting fulfillment out of this?
Yes.
And
yes.
What's it like when you reach the end of the road? Have you filled that void? And what are you doing in that life to fulfill? It's fucking amazing, dude.
No,
I was like, okay, it's going to be another typical great Disney Pixar film. Yeah. And yeah, it totally was. And I got to stop dismissing these amazing things.
Yes. No, absolutely. Kind of a la The Amazing Spider-Man. Yep. When that first came out, you know, like as in you and I both missed the boat with that.
Wait a minute. You mean Spider-Verse?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. My apologies.
Because it was animated.
No, exactly. That's right. And it's one of those ones that you kind of just brush aside on that, and then you actually watch it and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
Yeah, that's right.
So no, absolutely. Soul was already on the list, so I'm eagerly awaiting the chance to watch that.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Second one on my list I do want to talk about briefly, and of course that's another Disney Plus property, and that's WandaVision. Just fucking Vision or some shit. Anyway, he kind of does that in this series a little bit.
Episode 14 of the podcast. Go back and listen to that for one of the moments where I think it was like 3 minutes and you couldn't even breathe. Yeah. It was fantastic. I loved it. Yeah. I wish we recorded then.
Yeah,
it was just you crying for 2 minutes. It was fantastic.
That should be our new follower soundbite. You fucking Vision. Jot that down. Yeah. But anyway, WandaVision. I'm not going to spoil too much, because if anybody who's interested in it has seen the trailers, it's kind of set in like a 90s, 50s black and white sitcom. And essentially, to spoil it a little bit, because there's only 4 episodes out at the moment, they are releasing it week to week. It's basically what happens after the whole Thanos snap thing, and what Wanda Maximoff is going through post that fucking era with the loss of Vision and things like that. It's basically telling that story, and it's not too far into it just yet where I can't really say, well, this is exactly what's happening, but I kind of have a feeling as to what's going on.
Okay.
But what I really wanted to talk about is, and I only wanted to really mention it, not really talk about, is that I expected it to be good, but I didn't expect it to be really good.
Okay, right.
You know,
so
like,
it's exceeding your expectations by far.
Yeah, well, not by far, but like I was like, holy shit, this is gripping me.
Still the most talented Olsen sibling.
Oh, and the best looking. God damn it. Yeah.
Liz.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But WandaVision is great, and Soul is great.
Yes. No.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man.
Do we have any other jokes that I completely skipped past?
I'm not too sure. Oh, we've got two redemptions of Dab.
Oh yeah, we've got a Dab. Look at it.
There we go. Those channel point
and,
rewards will be changing.
Now, do
but,
we want to
yeah.
See one of the redemptions that we have there? Yes,
shit.
of course.
Yes, exactly. I just
We're
noticed
1
that.
hour and 9 minutes in, and it's about time we
I was
bust open
going to
the
say, well, I'm going to say that's probably a decent time to probably wrap this puppy up.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
getting close to it, but I think we have one more joke in there.
Oh, did we? Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's just Elle talking about how she wants to play Fortnite. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a joke, but it's not.
Love and souls.
Anyway,
Girls sticking together. Love to see it. Awesome. Yes.
they're just having a chat amongst themselves.
Yeah. No.
which is
Exactly.
totally
That's
fine.
good. No.
But anyway, thank you.
Oh, and Alan. Hi.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Alan. Yes,
Exactly.
welcome aboard.
Make
Give
sure
us
to
a follow
smack
if you
that follow
haven't.
button.
But yes, we've got to Spoonful of Black Gold by Bethy D. So I appreciate you doing this.
And
Oh, do we have two of them, do we?
well, yes.
Oh, one by Carly and one by
Yes.
Bethy D. So we've got two big spoonfuls. So I shall do the reins first. How's that for a spoonful? You were happy with that?
Yeah, that counts for the both. Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Well, for like the two for you.
For me, yeah. Not for the both of us.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
That counts for one.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I love this shit, man.
Wait. I don't. Did you bring two? Oh, you did.
We're not sharing the spoon.
I know. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Like, yeah, why not? I mean, okay, yeah.
You know what's good about this camera not being completely 4K?
What's that?
Is that now we're just going to have nothing but like black, drooly mouths for the remaining of the episode.
No, exactly. Well,
Anyway, down the hatch.
yeah.
Black and gold, black and gold. That's right.
Oh
I got
god, it's
somewhere-
been so. You're right.
That just went everywhere. Hold on, 1 second.
It's been so long since I've had to redeem these. Please, once we get off air, delete this channel reward.
Delete this channel reward. Actually, I
Yeah.
kind of like that one because it's quite delicious.
Yeah,
Did you
just
see the
triple the price or something, please? I told you, I think I maxed out in one stream and 7 times in like
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
Do
or
you?
whatever.
Can you really just not like handle like a massive scoop? Like that one that I had.
What do you
it's
mean
like-
can't handle?
Because you were like, "That's a big one." I was like, "I had it; and it was fine." Or,
I'm going off the theory of eating them back to back to back.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like why I deleted or deactivated for the time being
Yeah.
my dumbbell curl redemption on my personal channel because I was made to do 70 dumbbell curls in a row once,
Oh,
and that sucked.
well, I'm sure it was easy.
No, it really wasn't. Anyway, let's go up there.
Yeah.
Now I've got a dirty spoon to just sit here.
God.
Anyway,
Yeah.
do we have any more jokes for the evening before we start figuring out how to wrap this up? Is there anything that you wanted to talk about in terms of what you've watched recently?
No. Like I said, I've just been smashing Black Mirror and enjoying every fucking minute of it. Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Like off the top of my head that I've watched recently. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, you got another dad joke there ready to go?
All right, no worries. A red and blue ship crashed in the ocean, and all survivors were marooned.
That like makes sense.
I know.
Yeah, it's not a joke. Is
Yeah.
it? Like I know it's a joke, but like
Black and maroon.
I know I get it.
And all survivors were purpled.
That's much better.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. What have we got? What did the quick tomato say to the slow tomato?
Ketchup.
That's exactly what they said. You've read this before. You've
No, I haven't.
just made it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, 2 and 2 together.
It makes sense.
Tomato sauced. There we go.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
My father always called it train smash.
Train smash?
TS, tomato sauce, train smash. It's red. Blood.
Yeah, but okay.
It works.
I guess, but also you're adding words to words that don't need to have words added.
That's right. Mr. Poo Poo Bung Holio, we definitely greatly appreciate that joke, but unfortunately we've already had that one tonight.
Yeah, that was from him.
Was it?
Earlier. Yeah, exactly. We
Sorry,
oh,
we-
you
we
must
did-
have missed it, but we read it.
we
and
reacted
we
to it.
enjoyed it because it was pop culture reference as
And
well.
it was quite good. Yeah, it was from you. Excellent. Cool. But anyway, I think that's going to be the show. Let me open up the notes real quick. We've got nothing here. Oh, one trailer. We'll talk about one trailer this week. Did you see that? Did you see the trailer for Godzilla vs Kong?
No.
Cool. Anyway, welcome everybody to another episode of this thing, whatever we're going to be doing now. That has been our show for the time being. I guess it's time to wrap it up for the evening, unless anybody else has any more dad jokes they want to get off their chest.
Wait. Carly, your dad called tomato sauce train smash as well?
My dad called shepherd's pie with tomato sauce. train
Oh, all of it together.
All of-
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense,
That
yeah.
makes sense because then it's like corpse and flesh, I guess.
smash. Delicious.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I think we have one more from your wife.
Did you hear about the Italian chef who died? He passed away.
So you got to say, he passed away.
He passed away, yes, but you got to do it with the hands too, yeah.
Racism.
I was going to say it, but you beat me to it, but yeah, that was better than I ever could have said it. Is it? It totally is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got to be.
Speaking of racism.
Oh, here we
Well,
go.
actually, no, it's not so much racism, it's sexism that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
There's a movie that's recently been released on Netflix that Taylor and I watched the first 3 quarters of last night because it's an old film that she loved from her childhood. From 1965.
Yep.
It's called The Great Race.
Okay.
And it's essentially about two rivals of like stuntmen, essentially, wealthy stuntmen somehow, who invent cars to like race from New York to Paris, and that's the whole movie. However, there's this one woman in there, and littered throughout the entire film, it's all about women's rights and how hilarious that is and things like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? No wonder these films have warnings. Like, god damn it, like this shit has not aged well. But I'm sitting there going like, what? Like,
because it's so uncomfortable that was genuinely accepted cinema.
It's not. The thing is, like, knowing that what society is like nowadays,
yes,
it makes me think like, I'm not sure how many other movies did the same thing back then, and so much of it within one movie. There's so much of it. I'm just like, should I feel uncomfortable? Because I'm not usually the kind of person who's offended by this sort of stuff. I'm not really offended. I'm just like, wow.
No,
it's more shocking than anything.
I think as long as when you watch it, you acknowledge how fucked up it was.
Yeah, in retrospect, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah.
And so the Lord said unto John, come forth, and he shall receive eternal life. But John came fifth and won a toaster. That's not bad, dude. That's a good one.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm glad I didn't fuck it up entirely. Anyway, we've got 2 more spoonfuls of black gold, and then we're wrapping this bitch up.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's do it.
All right.
All right, you ready?
But
another dip in the dirt.
I will just say, make sure you head on over to your favorite podcast platform and search 2C3 Pod. And if you can, follow, subscribe, like, rate, review, do all that jazz. But most important, you can. I'm killing time before you have a mouthful of shit.
Right, well, that can count for 2.
No, absolutely. Yes, and then Apple Podcasts, most importantly, 5 stars. Just write whatever you want, and that helps us out greatly. Okay, so head on over there, do that for us, and yeah, we'll love you guys forever.
Absolutely. Well, after all of that, you can certainly find me over on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Dylan2C3pod. This is the first time using this account for this podcast episode, so we'll have some new mods and all these sorts of things. I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm trying to talk about now.
We'll get
with a mouthful of Vegemite. There's tissues on the table if you need them.
No, that's fine.
Anyway, do we want to say thank you to our current Patreon subscribers?
I don't have the list in front of me.
Okay, well, thank you to those who you know who you are.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want to become a part of that and get new content moving forward, head over to Patreon. All links are in our About tab, wherever they are, and links down below wherever you're listening to this podcast on those other platforms. If you do want to send us any inquiries, of course, you can certainly contact us over at twocompany3podcast@gmail.com.
Indubitably.
More moving forward, I don't know what I was saying there. We will have a new episode of this podcast streaming live, and we have a more regular schedule now.
That's right. This week was absolutely. This week was Wednesday. Next week will be Wednesday, and then following that we will have Tuesday and Tuesday. So we just go 2 Wednesdays, 2 Tuesdays, 2 Wednesdays, 2 Tuesdays. Absolutely. A lot easier to follow and a lot easier to keep up to date with things. So yes, look forward to that. And most of the time it will be between 8 and 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Absolutely. Now we're going to wrap this up. It's going to be a little weird, but I do have a button to do so now. So this is the end of the episode. No pre-show banter because we've just done it.
Post-show banter.
Post-show banter because we've just done that also. But
absolutely.
Anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out with us this evening. We'll see you next Wednesday. My name is Dylan, and as always with my co-host
Mitchell, and do not forget, we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast.